Alright guys, this is my 1978 Ford F100. It's an XLT model. I picked it up roughly 2 months ago. It's got a 351 V8 Cleveland engine in it. I've been looking at trucks for about 10 years now, and I finally bit the bullet and bought one. The reason I decided on this one here is because overall it's in pretty good condition. So a lot of the F trucks, it's hard to find them without the rust. This one's got a tiny bit of rust in the tub, but overall the body is in pretty good condition. It's had all the interior, the mats redone, so inside's actually pretty nice. The dash itself, it's in average okay condition. It's currently got 163,000 kilometers on it. The color of this one is polar white, acrylic polar white. When I picked it up, it had a massive big bull bar on it, and I didn't really like it, so the only modifications I've done to this is chuck a chrome bumper on the front. That's why it's nice and shiny, and I had to take the big bull bar step off the back of it so it could fit inside my garage. But other than that, she's stock standard. It's a 2-wheel drive. Give you a look at the engine bay. When I picked it up, it had the original big 351 Cleveland air intake on top of it, the big original blue one. And I had to make a big trip from Brisbane all the way to Townsville, so about roughly 17-hour drive. It was breathing really bad, and it actually had the wrong carby on it, or it had a carby on it that was too big for such a stock engine. So it had a Holy 750 on it, and it was using a lot of fuel and running like absolute trash. So I made a good friend in the experience of buying it. I ran into a few issues, so we put a 650 Holy on it and a new air intake, which helped it breathe a lot better. I had to get a new distributor on it because when I was traveling home, about 300 kilometers into, not even that, 200 kilometers, the distributor broke. So there's a cap on the underneath the distributor there. You pop the cap off. Underneath it, it's got a little cog, and it's held on by a little roll pin on the shaft, and the cog actually dropped off inside there, and I lost all compression as I was coming down the hill. And I was lucky to be able to grab the cog from the inside, and tried to make shift on the side of the road by putting the cog back on. And in that whole process, I learned a lot about this engine and how you have to find top dead center when you place the distributor back on before you can, to make sure it's in the right location. So that was good learning process for myself. And we put new leads on it as well, a new coil as well. And yeah, so the reason I'm making this is, one, I love these cars, but I have a very minimal knowledge about them mechanical, and I'm hoping that you guys can get something out of my learning process with this as I try and restore this to where I'd like to have it, and also Being a almost 50-year-old car, my generation wouldn't have had much to do with these, so I'll fire her up so you can hear her. So yeah, that's a bit of a walk around of where I've currently got the F truck at the moment. She's pretty much stock and standard. Next week I'm going away for about 16 days, so I've paid a deposit for her to go into the mechanics, and we are sorting out the brakes, because the brakes, they work at the moment, however they don't work as they probably should. So safety is priority first. We're going to get the brakes looked at. I replaced new calipers on them before I did the big drive, however they're still a bit sticky, and when the brakes get hot and if they're stuck on, it's not good, because they can grip up on the front rotor there and catch fire, especially when you're doing a long trip. So quick trips around town aren't too bad, but if you're on the brakes real hard and the brake calipers sticking on, might catch fire. Just for reference, she's got drum brakes on the back, disc brakes on the front, and I think that's pretty much everything. She's got a C6 auto gearbox. I'm hoping to, when we get her in at the mechanics, we can find out a little bit more about it, but I think it'll be 2V, sorry, not 4V, which I don't really mind, but rip the heads off and we'll find out a little bit more history about it. But it is going in for a cam, some lifters, some extractors, and a new exhaust as well. So stay tuned if you want to learn along the process as I learn as well, and see where this thing goes. Yeah, I don't really know how YouTube works, but subscribe or follow, and yeah, thanks guys.